Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut too, and hopefully you like this video, hit that subscribe button. So, you come across some weird takes with these media people, and there's no weird takes, no weirder individuals than Christopher Mad Dog Russo. He's just a very, it's a strange guy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Chris had this very weird take on his Sirius XM radio program. I guess on Tuesday or Monday or whatever it is. Now he's a very bitter fan. I don't know why he's bitter. His team has won a lot. He didn't like. Also, he didn't like the fact during early in the season that his one of his kids didn't get a chance to interview any Mets during spring training. He said he wasn't going to root for the Mets. Well, you're not a Met fan, Chris. But he's from Awful Announcing. He had a lot to say about the broadcaster and main play-by-play guy from Fox, Joe Davis. Headline: Chris Mad Dog Russo eviscerates Joe Davis for hosting Dodgers World Series parade. He's the voice of the World Series. He's supposed to be right down the middle. Chris, I think you may not be aware of this, but he is the broadcaster, the play-by-play man for the Dodgers. And he's been the play-by-play man for the Dodgers since Vince Scully retired. Remember Vince Scully? So he's been there quite a long time. Joe Davis went from calling 2025 MLB World Series nationally for Fox to hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers Championship Parade 2 days later. And radio legend Chris Mad Dog Russo had a big problem with that. Russo went Scotch death on Davis during the latest edition of Mad Dog Unleashed on Sirius XM. It was a classic Mad Dog rant calling out Davis, the television voice of the Dodgers, for looking like a Dodgers homer rather than an objective national broadcaster after the Toronto Blue Jays season ended with a heartbreaking Game 7 loss. But Chris, understand something. The World Series is over. He can do whatever the hell he wants after the World Series. He's not doing this during, but they won. You know? You didn't say like after the game, I'm going to be hosting the parade tomorrow. Why don't you come on down? He didn't say that. He didn't say that, Mad Dog. Mad Dog's more like brain dead sometimes, I'll tell you. More like bird brain. Mad Dog, brain dead. Bird brain. When you're a national broadcaster and you're the voice of the sport on the big stage, when you do 1 million playoff games, one of the crippling losses that a franchise is going to have in the history of the sport, that's as bad a loss as you're going to have. Russo began. The body's not even cold yet, and I got Joe at Dodger Stadium doing the freaking Dodgers parade. Oh my God, that's bad. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. You could say I'm screaming and yelling about nothing. That would piss me off if I'm a Blue Jays fan. I don't think Blue Jays fans care. Why would any Blue Jays fan care? He is a broadcaster for the Dodgers. He works for the Dodgers. I got Joe Davis shaking everybody's hand, Russo said. Shaking freaking Ohtani's hand. He's getting rings. He's the announcer of the World Series. You think Kurt Gowdy was getting any of this nonsense? You think Garagiola was doing the parade in 82 with the Cardinals? Oh my God. I don't know about Joe Garagiola. I mean, can you go back any further? Was Garagiola ever a Cardinals broadcaster? I don't think he was. And he's got the trophy right there. God, if you're a Blue Jays fan, you're vomiting right now. That is bad. I don't care what you say. It's like going between my regular voice and the Russo impression. You can say I'm being hard. That's ridiculous, Chris. What's the big deal? He does the games. It's not a big deal. Oh my God. Nonsense, Russo continued. He's the voice of the World Series. It's all in caps, too, screaming. Blood pressure up. He's supposed to be right down the middle. Ozzy's rooting his ass off for the Dodgers World Series. Anybody I spoke to hated the idea. They sensed he was rooting for the Dodgers throughout the World Series. And his call at the end was ridiculous. You gotta be the champion to knock the whatever he said about knocking it. I mean, he's making a big deal. He didn't know what the hell he said at the end of the game. And then he's waxing poetic about Kershaw at the end of the game that nobody in America cared about. Well, I probably agree with that part. Oh my God, that's bad and that's wrong and that's not the way you do it. I don't care. Call me anything you want. Call me an old man on the hill screaming, get off my lawn. Say anything you want. That's bogus. It's not a big deal. Who cares? Who cares, Chris? Most Blue Jays fans are just want to move on. They want to like forget about that loss. You know, I mean, and I will say this about the Blue Jays: they had every chance to win. They had every opportunity when they didn't do it. They just didn't do it. Oh, he continues. This goes on, folks. The Dodgers should have done him a favor. Russo explained, Joe, you know what? You're the voice of the team. You just won a classic. Why don't you lay low here and we'll get someone else to do this? Why don't you lay low? We'll get Dave Azich. Why don't you lay low? This is not the time for you. You're the voice of baseball in postseason play. You can't be doing a parade. Waxing poetic about us at the Blue Jays' expense. Wrong, Russo concluded. I don't understand what the problem is here. Joe Davis joined Sportsnet LA in 2015 and became the success of Vince Scully as the television play-by-play voice for the Dodgers in 2017. He's been with Fox Sports since 2014 and replaced Joe Buck as the MLB on Fox lead play-by-play voice in 2022. But apparently, Chris Russo wanted him to put his local roots aside as the Dodgers celebrated another title in deference to his national role. Here's the thing. He's not that good of a broadcaster. Who cares? He's no Vince Scully. He's not even Joe Buck for that matter. It's not a big deal. Most people don't even know who Joe Davis is. Most people wouldn't know Joe Davis if they walked into him. He's one of these nondescript current broadcasters of today. He sounds the same like every other broadcaster you hear on TV, on the radio. I wouldn't know him if I fell on him. Most Dodgers fans wouldn't know him. They know Vin. I think a lot of them probably think that Vin's still alive, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody cares about this nonsense. Other than Chris. Other than Chris Russo. He's the only one that cares about this monkey crap. And it's not that important, you know. The Dodgers won, you know. The winner gets the spoils, the loser has to deal with it. As simple as that. The victor, what was that line? The victor come get the spoils? Yeah, that's basically it. You know, who cares? You know, if you're a winning team, you're going to put out whoever you want to put out. You know, I mean, this is silly. I mean, with the Yankees, well, I can't use that as an example, but it's not a big deal. And like I said, most people don't know who Joe Davis is. He's a generic broadcaster who, you know, got a very big job with the Dodgers, and he's been there for a long time now. Maybe Dodger fans know him. If they ran into him, maybe they might know who he is. But he's not Gary Cohen, that's for sure. He's not some of the other great, you know, broadcasters in baseball. He's not John Miller, that's for sure. He's not Dave Sims, that's for sure. He's not Kuiper out in San Francisco. Joe Davis, like I said, is generic. One of these new school guys, you know. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if he's doing this or not. Other than one person in the country. And who cares what the Canadians think anyway? Who cares what the Toronto Blue Jays think? I know I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just a Met fan, but it's not a big deal. But I guess you got to do whatever you got to do to get people to pay attention to you. And that's what Russo does. You on stream, you talk about stuff that's nonsensical, and you get people to talk about it. And you get your host to do a video making fun of Chris. Well, that's how it is. That's how it is in the old sports radio. This is how it is in sports radio, folks. Saying outrageous stuff that makes no sense from people who are crazy, hopped up on pot and everything else. This is the kind of takes you get. Or eats gummies. He does. He admits that it's all true. He admits to eating gummies. So, you know, that tells you where his mindset is. I don't know, he's been doing those gummies a long time, but starting to explain the last 40 years of on the air behavior, acting like a crazy person, and screaming about nonsense. This is nonsense, folks. Well, you let me know what you think about this video, and of course, this is what we do here. We talk about the broadcasting here. I love talking about the broadcasters. I love talking about WFAN, and it's fun because no one else does it. I really enjoy it. Hopefully, you enjoy it. And of course, hold up. I'm being like held up here. Anyway, Thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. That's 2. I'll see you later.